Quinn and Penny investigate how to research by Thomas Kingsley Troop, illustrated by Sol Otero. Meet Quinn and his trusty pen, Penny. Quinn wants to be a detective someday. He knows good detectives ask lots of questions.
Why is the sky blue? What are fingernails and toenails made of? How long do crocodiles live?
Does ink wash out of checkered capes?
Step 1. What's the assignment? Ms. Reedwell gives the class an assignment.
When you research, you look for facts to answer a question. Today I want you to start researching a key question.
Wow! You mean a legend like the Loch Ness Monster?
Yes, you can use information you already know, but you must also come up with new questions to answer.
What do we do with the information we find?
You'll present it to the class. You can make any kind of project.
Our first case.
A good detective asks questions about the assignment. Make sure you know exactly what your task is.
Step 2. Ask questions and brainstorm.
Miss Reedwell said we need to make a list of secondary questions. A good secondary question helps answer the key question.
What is the legend of the Loch Ness Monster? Where did the legend come from? How long has this legend been around? What stories made up the legend?
Quinn and Penny brainstorm for their investigation. They think of sources to help them crack the case.
All this stuff is at the library.
Good work.
Step 3. Search for clues. Quinn jots down keywords to help them find sources for their case.
Let's do a search for the Loch Ness Monster. Then we'll try other keywords we have.
Fantastic! There's a book on the Loch Ness Monster. We're done.
Not so fast. Mrs. Reedwell said we should check out a bunch of sources. There are reference books, videos, magazines, all kinds of sources. Let's ask the librarian to help us find some materials.
How will we ever read all these books, Quinn?
The table of contents and index will help us find these facts quickly.
We could use the bibliography to find other sources too.
Quinn writes down the information he finds. He uses reference books such as encyclopedias, almanacs, and atlases too. These books can't leave the library.
When looking through sources, ask yourself the following questions. Is the information in this source answering one of my questions? Is the author of the text trustworthy? Was this information written to let people know just the facts? Was this text written within the last 5 years? If you answered yes to all of these questions, your source is likely a good one.
The legend of the Loch Ness Monster leads Quinn and Penny to the computer stations. Quinn uses a popular search engine to find websites and articles.
Let's try some other search engines. We can also use databases. Let's ask the librarian for help too.
This website has pictures of Nessie.
Keep track of your sources. It's important to write down the title of the book, website, or other source for your report. Ask your teacher what other information you'll need to turn in about your sources.
Yes, but are they real? Let's investigate further.
Quinn jots down the websites and the useful and trustworthy information. He writes down any other interesting clues he finds. Libraries have more than just books, magazines, and computers. Quinn and Penny find DVDs with documentaries about the Loch Ness Monster. They bring them to a media station.
What's a documentary, Quinn?
It's a factual movie that shows discoveries other detectives have made.
Someone else's research?
Exactly.
Penny notes the amazing things they see.
Look at this.
Incredible. It looks like a dinosaur.
Good detectives find information from at least 3 sources. Try to look at all kinds of sources, such as documentaries, websites, newspaper articles, and books. You can also interview people and do surveys for information.
Step 4. Take notes. Quinn checks out lots of books and DVDs. He knows he and Penny might uncover new clues by reading further.
Wow, my ink is dry.
I'm tired too. We've uncovered a lot of information.
But did we find enough?
Let's gather all the facts.
Quinn and Penny write everything down.
Looks like we have plenty of evidence for our case.
Once the research is done, organize your findings. Writing each piece of information on a note card helps keep things straight. It's important to think about how the information will help answer the key question.
Step 5. Putting it all together. Quinn and Penny lay out all their note cards on the desk. Then they come up with answers to the secondary questions. From these answers, they also answer the key question.
How should we show this to the class?
I know. Let's make a case file, like real detectives.
Quinn creates an outline to use as a guide. Using the outline, Quinn and Penny write a rough draft of the case. Quinn knows he should never copy the entire text from a source and turn it in as his own. He rewords their findings and adds new information.
Be creative about how you present your case. Sometimes a report is best. Other times a video does the trick. Sometimes your teacher will decide the best way to present your facts.
Step 6. Close the case. Quinn and Penny look at their case file. It's loaded with facts. They add a map of Loch Ness.
All the clues were triple checked.
This looks great. We're pretty good detectives.
Quinn reads through the case file one last time, then he and Penny list the sources in a bibliography. Next, Quinn asks his dad to read the rough draft of the case file. An extra pair of eyes always helps. It was time to show the case file to the class.
No one really knows if the Loch Ness Monster is real, but we sure found a lot of clues. We came up with an answer to the key question too.
Would you do anything differently for your next case?
Yes. Pick a tougher mystery to solve.
Good detectives learn from their past cases. Write in a journal while you are working on your project. Note what would make the next investigation easier. Which sources were most helpful? Did you learn a new way to research? Would you do anything differently?